Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're here to check out a brand new series, Squid Game, which appears to be all the rage at the moment. And to be honest, I've been avoiding it all this time in the hopes that once all the excitement has died down, I would check it out. Because oftentimes the excitement gets overblown and you go in with expectations that aren't met. Um, but as you know, I'm a huge fan of the survival genre. Alice in Borderland, which is on the channel, every chance I get, I try to talk about Animal World, which oddly isn't talked about as much as this, even though the synopsis appears to be very similar. Although Animal World is a movie. But I will say, if you do enjoy Squid Game, be sure to go and check out Animal World. It's not as grounded, I don't think, but it's enjoyable nonetheless. Um, I don't know anything. I don't know much about this particular series. I see it differs from Alice in Borderland in that Alice in Borderland is actually adapted from a manga, whereas this I believe is an original script. And I did read a bit about the writer and how he just could not get this series actually made or get this project off the ground. So it's good to see, see his work, the fruition of his labor finally, you know, made bare here on Netflix and the success that it's having. So that's great for him. Um, yeah, so outside of that, I don't know much about the story. But again, it's a genre that I do love, and I there have been a few that I do skip. I mean, Hunger Games, for example, I didn't particularly like Hunger Games. I saw the first film. I'm not even sure if I saw it in its entirety, but it just didn't grab me, and I think maybe something that I'll revisit later on. But pretty much every other film, or there have been very few series within that genre actually, but there have been mostly films. But pretty much everything else I have seen, and it may come down to you know how Hollywood treats this genre versus Western cinematography, and they do tend to have a bit more care where those things are concerned, especially when it comes to drama and horror. Some of the best horror films are those that perhaps come out of Japan or Korea, so I think it comes down to how these studios really just handle the properties, and more often than not, I prefer those that are either mostly Korean or Japanese, and in some instance Chinese, because I think Animal World is actually Chinese. So there have been a few misses, but hits more often than not. So yeah, so I am very much looking forward to this. And as you do know, I prefer to watch in the original how it was intended to language. So I will be watching this subbed. I think dub is available. I didn't even bother to check because yeah, as I've mentioned numerous times before, I believe some of the performance gets lost when you're when we're listening to the dub. So I prefer to see the film or the series or the actor's performance how it was actually intended. So I will be watching it with subtitles. Yeah. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. So yeah, episode 1. Let's check it out.
게임이 시작되면
Courtship like a
사람의
squid.
수비자는 두 발로, 산 밖의 공격자는 깽깽이 발로 움직여야 한다.
Interesting. Never heard of this game before. Fell for it.
후에 전투를 할
Spectre
준비가
Royal.
되면 공격자들은 오징어
Oh, okay.
그림에
That's what they
이쁘는
call it.
겁니다. 수비자에 밀려 선
Oh.
그래 죽는다.
And ruin the shirt in the process. Who cares? Didn't we all?
뭐야? 나 주는 거야?
네 오늘 가영이 생일인 건 알지?
Nope, didn't remember a thing. Sure you did.
한 마리 세 먹이고 와.
내 치킨만 먹여. 생일인데
Don't be a
선물이라도
bum.
치킨 더
Just
줘봐.
chicken. He's horrible. He's working his poor mom to death. And asking for more money.
아 그건 좀 그만해. 그리고.
Yeah, why are you taking her money? Is he seriously scamming his own mom? Or is it her card and he's stealing money from her?
모른다. 지엄마 생일 모른다. 에라이 호로 새끼. 아이씨, 병신아 알아. 노인네가 매년 그 음력을 세가지고 매년 바뀌어서 그런 거야. 병신 새끼 씨발 알지도 음력을 쳐.
One more chance to steal from your mother. Damn it!
뭐했어? 오늘 우리 딸 생일.
And he's using it to gamble, of course. He's gonna lose everything. He's gonna lose everything. Yeah. He's going again?
이봐요. 아 당신 뭐 하는 생각이 나좀 가만히 내버려둬. 생각 좀 하게.
I mean, I know gambling addiction and all, but it's the one addiction that I'm like, look, it's not some uncontrollable substance that you inject into your body that has another reaction. This is something that you're leaving your house, going to the tracks to bet on every day. I know that's oversimplifying the entire thing, but I don't have much sympathy for people who gamble like that. He's gonna lose again. Oh, he won. Okay. Okay. And then tomorrow he'll come and lose it all over again. Yep. He owes people money. Why am I not surprised? This guy. No time to be worried about that, man. Aren't you chased? At least he's polite, I guess. Oh? Did she pick his pocket? Yeah, she took the money.
줄까봐 제가 한꺼번에 모아서 드리려고 했거든요.
아유 자식 기특하네. 그래서 얼마 있나?
That's it.
괜찮아요, 학생?
They're gonna beat the shit out of him. Ew.
너 코피가 왜 잘 나는지 알아? 그 안에 모세혈관이 많아서.
You're gross, man.
정말이에요, 갚을게요.
아 새끼. 맘 약해지게 왜 울고 지랄이야. 지장 찍어. 다음 달까지 못 갚으면 여기 신장 하나라. 여기 안구 하나 대신 가져간다. 오케이.
Jesus, how much money does he owe? Yeah. Shouldn't have said that.
거기 나오네. 자연산 우주.
How are you gonna pay that back next month? You need the money back that he gave her? Trying to buy his daughter a crappy gift? And he's using all the money. Just get her some chicken. Let an expert do this, okay?
아빠, 싸움하는 건 아빠 자유인데 맞고 다니지는 마.
아빠가 미안해.
I don't think she cares about that. Don't tell him that. He's trying to compete for her affection, but I think all she just wants is for her dad to be there. He doesn't know what's in the box, though. Oh my god.
야, 너 알지? 여자도 요즘 군대 많이 가는 거.
A toy gun, really? A lighter, nonetheless? I was expecting a water gun or something, but a lighter. Okay, so let's encourage smoking and killing. You are ridiculous, my man. Hey, look who it is. This is the actor from Train to Busan, right? I've seen him in quite a few things, but that's one of them just the most memorable.
저랑 게임 한번 하시겠습니까?
Here it is.
잡상이냐?
You have nothing but time at the moment.
선생님, 딱지치기 해보세요.
Yeah.
저랑 딱지치기를 하셔서 한 번 이기실 때마다 10만 원을 드리겠습니다.
What's the catch, though? Ask the questions. What's the catch? What if I lose? You know the one he's tempting. I can't even feel too much. I can't feel any sympathy for this guy. He's stealing from his mom. He's clearly an addicted gambler and a terrible, pretty terrible father. Pay up.
그럼 몸으로 때우시면 됩니다.
뭐무래?
Ah,
너 이게 뭐야?
야만대 10만 원 까드립니다.
I guess it's better than nothing. Ah, seriously? Kidding? He hasn't won at least once? It's not worth it. Is this high school? It's gonna land right back. Either there's some catch that he's not telling him, or this is to get him hooked so he gives in to another offer that he's going to make him. No, you don't get to hit him. You get the money.
10만 원입니다. 축하드립니다.
I guess it stopped being about the money after a while. You just wanted payback.
선생님, 이런 거 며칠만 하시면 큰 돈을 벌 수 있습니다. 한번 해보시지 않겠습니까?
아이씨, 이거 신종 피라미드 뭐 그런 거지?
I mean, you've already agreed to sell your organs, so where's the line?
현재 채무액
Knows every detail about his life.
은행 대출 2억 5,500.
Damn.
누구야? 빈자리가 얼마 안 남았습니다. 연락 주십시오.
So maybe he's not working with those guys. He just knows an awful lot, or just been going around looking for desperate people.
엄마 욕 떴어. 아 받아.
Don't you have a debt to pay back?
아니야.
The one thing she asked you to do, you didn't.
지금 애랑
Yeah, I
새남편이랑
figured. When he said, "I'll see you next year,"
미국으로 간다 하더라.
that's the mom who didn't tell him. She really should have told him though, and he's a shit dad, so she may have her reason for not doing that.
그래?
예시방, 먹으러 밥에 넘어가네? 어? 너가 아는 찾아야 할 거 아이가.
How's he gonna do that in such a short space of time?
가 미국으로 그냥 들어가 버리면 한국말 다 까먹고 니랑 뭐 말도 영영 안 통할 끼고 영영 남대필인 기다.
Yeah,
어?
I never thought of that aspect of it. I'm just sad for the mom that he's all she has left. To be honest. And I don't want her to lose her granddaughter, I don't really care that much about him.
저
He's taking the offer.
명함 받은 사람인데요.
게임에 참가를 원하십니까? 참가를 원하시면 기아의 이름과 생년월일을
And he's not even asking what kind of games are these. I mean, he hasn't signed away his life just yet, so hopefully. But given everything we've seen of him in the last 30 minutes, he's not even going to question it. Let me just get in this dark van.
성경 씨,
아 예.
암호는
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다.
I remember that game from, kindergarten. Red light, green light.
까지는 여기서 얼마나 걸릴까요?
Oh, sort of gas. Too late now. Too late to back out. $4.56. What have you gotten yourself into? Some pretty cheerful music they're playing for what's bound to be a very grim and disastrous outcome.
영감님, 뭐 하시는 거예요? 말 시키지 마라. 헷갈려.
I thought it was senile, but no. I guess he knows how the game is played.
몇 가지 셌더라.
Made him lose count.
영감님, 저기 456명 왔네요.
And you're 456.
영감님 1등으로 오셨네? 너 꼴찌네?
Why do I get the feeling that's not why he was counting? If I've learned nothing from watching this, these films or series within this particular genre, it's do not trust anyone, especially those that appear to be friendly.
야!
Yeah, this is the same girl that he ran into, right? How'd she end up here?
눈깔 봐라. 승질은 여전하네.
빚진 거보다 갖다 바친 게 더 많아.
그렇게 당당한 년이 왜 도망을 쳤을까?
도망이 아니라 독립한 것뿐이야.
Is this really the time to be fighting each other? Says that she's number 97. Well, he's gone, obviously, since she's here.
년이랑 아직 얘기가 안 끝났는데.
예, 죄송합니다. 저도 이 자매님이랑 급한 용건이 좀 있어서요.
너 이 새끼 인연이랑 무슨
얼굴 보니까 이런 애들 뒤에 숨어서 먹고 사는 양아치 같으신데 네가 시켰냐? 내 돈 훔쳐오라고?
이 개새끼.
내 남편을 사람 죽여!
I mean, there appears to be more of them. So what's stopping them from the running and stampeding and killing everyone there and trying to escape? You guys did agree to play the game though, right? Can we leave? This one's asking a lot of questions. He might not make it very long.
우리가 당신들 말을 믿어야 할 이유를 하나만 대봐.
기쁨증권 투자 2팀 팀장. 고객 기회지금을 무단으로 되돌려 주식 파생 상품과 선물 옵션에 투자했다가 실패.
I figured everyone here is in debt one way or another.
백절번 김미영 채무 보호사.
Yeah, every single one of them.
지금 이 자리에 계신
And they all chose to play the game. Like, why would you agree to that?
저랑 그대 서 계신 분들입니다. 어떤 강압도 없이 이 게임에 자원하셨습니다.
What if I want to leave now,
선택의
though?
기회를 드리겠습니다.
Yes! Without knowing what this game is, I'm not risking that.
게임 합니까?
모두에게 공정한 게임을 위해서 게임 정보는
So you have to agree ahead of time, and then you can't back out afterwards. Hell no.
대충 얼마나 되나요?
And from what he said, there can only be one winner. That's suspicious as hell.
첫 번째 게임이 끝나고 모두에게 공개하겠습니다.
Everything is after. Why would I participate not knowing a thing? This guy's gonna be trouble. Signing away their freedom.
이게 나은가요?
How long were they out? I'm just wondering where exactly they took them. If it's something like an entire island or something like that.
아이씨, 너 병신아.
And I'm guessing if this is similar to Batum, which again in the same genre, but it's an anime. I know some people are averse to watching anime, but I'm getting similar vibes to this as well. And if that's the case, it may be that others are going to be gambling on their performance. Is this the guy that approached all of them to play the first game? Where the hell are they? Is this the guy who his mom said was on a business trip? Yeah, okay. This is his childhood friend, right?
이거 빚이 있어? 아 쌍문동에 사람 서울대 조사 온 거야?
형 다음에 얘기해.
He got rich, he got greedy, and so he's now in debt. Yeah, so they're in a huge room of some sort.
야, 그래. 저.
치는 동안 전진할 수 있으며 이후에 움직임이 감지되면 탈락입니다.
Eliminated. That's not how I remember red light, green light. They're gambling here?
5분 안에 술래의 눈을 피해 결승선에 들어오는 분들은 통과입니다. 그럼 시작합니다. 324번 탈락.
But he stopped. Well, I guess his body was still moving. Damn.
방금
Eliminated.
너 탈락이야 병신아.
Does they not realize he's dead? Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Moved. He's done. What are you doing? It's red light. Don't move. Wait until it says green light and then run back. How many people are even left? What did you guys agree to? I think they heard you this time. He's lucky he didn't get a shot because he did move even though not on his own, but get up, get up. Why do I feel like this old man is enjoying things? Is he a repeater? I feel like he's been here before. He hasn't moved? You need to get up.
고개 돌리지 말고 들어. 그렇게 있으면 어차피 죽어. 내 생각에 저 인형이 통작 감지 장치야.
앞사람 등 뒤에 숨으면 감지되지 않아.
Come on, get up, get up, get up. Get up. Can't stay there forever. I still see her shooting people that aren't moving. I mean, they're just... Oh, smart kid. I mean, they weren't entirely still, but, I mean... That's harsh.
누구냐? 아까부터
네 뒤통수 치냐?
이런 쌍년이.
지금 한 대 더 쳐줄까 네 뒤통수?
하지 마 제발.
Can't move, can you? She should have just kept using him as a guard, though. Oh, God, no. This is horrible. I should not be laughing. Need to get moving. 1 minute. What happens when the timer reaches 0? Watching everyone die is apparently very soothing to him. I feel as though the closer they get, the more they're eliminated for just making subtle movements. I'm liking this girl. She knows how to play the game. All right. Made it. This old man is having way too much fun. I cannot help but feel as though he's a repeat participant. Come on, almost there. This, do you fall? Oh my god. It's got good arm strength. Don't don't die saving him, alright? He's not worth it. Maybe he's made a friend, you know? But I get the feeling that this guy would sell out anyone. He's not gonna make it. The guy who saved him. Okay, he made it. I don't. This character that we're following, I think he would sell anyone out, to be honest. So everyone dies at the end of the timer. Ah, 101 survived. Damn it. It's gonna be a problem not only for that girl, but for everyone, I think. They're in some sort of doom. Yeah. On, as I suspected, some island. Batum. Alright, episode 1 of Squid Game. I mean, there are, as I mentioned, there are a lot of similarities here. Of course, I don't reckon that this is the first or any of the other films or shows that I've seen in recent years are the first in the survival genre. There have been many over the last several decades that have borrowed elements from each other. So there are a few elements here that I've just by virtue of recently watching Alice in Borderland and things like Batum and so on, that I see those elements, even Gantz to some extent, that I see being played out here. But I guess they're taking a unique stance in terms of using children's games, which is not something you encounter in the others. Um, I guess it'll depend on how well these games are executed, because one of the strong points in Alice in Borderland is that it's, the games flip the script in some instances, and you're not given clear and direct instructions as to what to expect. Here you are, you're given the rules at the very beginning. You know how the game is played. But whereas in Alice in Borderland, you're told what type of game it is, but once you get in, you have to figure out how exactly the best way is to survive that game. Here, yeah, you're just given the rules from the very beginning, and they appear to be very clear cut rules. I don't know if the games will become more complex as the story progresses, but here it was a very straightforward game, red light, green light, and I'm guessing they're going to be using maybe children's games throughout, since at the very beginning, the epilogue, the very thing that we saw was the character actually, playing the Squid Game as a kid with his friend, who we see as an adult here now. Yeah, so it's very interesting. I remember Red Light Green Light at the very least. I'm curious to see what other games. I've never heard of Squid Game, so I don't know if that was something if that existed in the West or was mostly in Eastern traditions. But I'm curious to see what other games we'll encounter. Maybe they'll pull games from different countries and different cultures. That would be interesting. But the character himself, Son Gi-hoon, he's a despicable individual. And that is in itself very somewhat unique, I suppose, because more often than not, the protagonist that we're following is this very virtuous character who's trying to do the right thing, and I don't get the impression that that's what he's going to be. I can see him turning on someone quite easily to save his own skin. He's a very, very slick character. And so I do not trust him. He's entertaining to watch, but I do not trust him in the slightest. We saw this guy steal from his mother, who's essentially been taking care of him. He's still living with his mom years later. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with living with your mom, but at the very least, she shouldn't be supporting you at a certain point, And she gave him money, he said, "Oh, that money is not enough," you know. And then she gives him more, and then he steals her card and goes to the ATM and steals more money, and then goes to the tracks and gambles. Uh, yeah, yeah. I will say, I mean, partly that's his fault, but partly that's also her fault as well, because as a parent, I feel as though she's been enabling him all these years, and you know, not at a certain point, you would need to say, look, you need to get your shit together, or you need to get the hell out of my house. But she seems to have been, you know, enabling him and taking care of him regardless of what he does, you know, and that's never really a good thing. And we see the kind of character that he becomes, the kind of father that he becomes. He appears to have lost custody of his daughter. Understandably, he's not a very good daughter, and odds are if he had his daughter, he would end up putting her in harm's way, because the loan sharks that he owes may come, and you know, they're gonna threaten him, and they're gonna find a way to get him to pay, and it may eventually lead to putting his family in danger. So it's good that he doesn't have custody at the moment. Um, it's nice that he has a good relationship with his daughter still. But as a child, you know, no matter what your parent does, they still remain heroes in your eyes until you become a bit older and you understand, if they're doing some terrible stuff, that, you know, that's not the best thing to be in your life. But you know, I'm hoping, if only for her sake and for his mother's sake, that he can come out of this somehow victorious. If it was left to him, I would not care if he goes out, because he's a terrible person. He's a terrible person, and who knows? Maybe he'll. There are glimpses where you see, maybe the person that we saw at the very beginning on the playground, where he's very polite and very kind to persons that he meets for the first time. You know, he ran into the girl and he didn't just push past her and run, even though he was running for his life. He stopped, he said sorry and everything. And there are just small moments where you see that, he was once a decent person. He's not anymore, and I don't know if he will go back to being a decent person. But yeah, now it's just down to survival, and this game that they found themselves in. They appear to be on an island, as I mentioned, that's very similar to, many of the others. It's not just Batum, but that's the first one that came to mind, where they're just put these contestants on an island, and then there's someone gambling on who the survivors will actually be. Um, yeah, so I mean, a few interesting characters. The girl that he bumped into before, and she's here in the game as well. I like her character. Um, the old man is particularly interesting because I get the feeling that he's played this game more than once. He's been smiling all the way throughout the episode, and he was counting at the very beginning, and I don't think it was because of dementia. You know, I think he knows how the game is actually played. They didn't say that you couldn't repeat the game, but there's no way in hell I would have agreed to this game not knowing what any of the rules are, and not knowing whether I can leave freely after agreeing to it. Absolutely not. I wouldn't even have allowed that guy to slap me in the face at the train station. No, no, not that desperate. Although he did send his kidneys away, so you know, he's got nothing. He's got nothing else to lose at this point. I'm not sure he would have been able to get that money together in the space of a month. So, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, an intriguing episode, guys. I'll definitely be checking out the remaining episodes. As I said before, I love the survival genre. This appears to fall within that same wheelhouse as the others that I've been watching recently. So yeah, yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it. All right, guys, be sure to post down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on episode 1 of Squid Game, and how desperate would you be? Would you agree to this insane game, not knowing any of the rules going in? You know, would you ever be this desperate, to the point where you would, you know, sign away your freedom essentially to play a game without knowing what the reward would actually be? Post down below, let me know. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.